Okay, Rambam. We continue with the laws of Karbanos sacrifices. Okay. Oh, we got it there. You have it here on the screen? Yes, it's on the screen. Okay. We are in chapter 2 of Bechayros. Bechayros means firstborn. Interesting because we just spoke about the firstborn, right? Getting double portion. Okay. The firstborn animal, kosher animal, belongs to the Kohen, to the priest. You have to give it to him, the firstborn. Even a firstborn boy also belongs to the Kohen, and that you have to redeem, right? But now we're talking about animals, okay? If any of the permanent, now, if it has a blemish, so it's a different law than if it's unblemished. Let's see. If any of the permanent blemishes which disqualify consecrated animals and require them to be redeemed is contracted by the firstborn animal, it may be slaughtered for this reason in any place. We have already explained that those blemishes, those are appropriate to apply to a male animal number 67. So the 67 different kind of blemishes an animal could have. It could be a split lip, right? That it has. It could be, different things about the leg of the animal. That's different. About it. I don't remember now all those details. We learned about them. That blemish means it can't be brought on the altar, right? That's what it means, a blemish. It can't be brought on the altar. Because if it didn't have a blemish, right? So then the Kohen, it belongs to him, but he brings a certain part on the altar. Now you won't be able to, it belongs to him nonetheless. Okay? So what he's saying over here, hold on one second. Right, so if it's, so it could be slaughtered, this animal now could be slaughtered anywhere because it can't be put onto the altar, right? Right. So all of the conditions mentioned there, all the condition mentioned there of those different ways that it becomes blemished, which cause the sacrifice to be considered as less than desirable, and hence due to them, a consecrated animal is not offered, but also is not redeemed, cause the firstborn not to be slaughtered due to them, nor offered. Instead, the animal remains until it contracts a permanent blemish. Okay. It's a little complicated over here. There's a perfectly a good animal that's not blemished. Then you have a blemished, but you can have also something in between that's less than desirable. It's not desirable. It might be a skinny animal. It's not because to be put on the altar of God, it needs to be the best. And it's not, but it's not blemished. So you can't slaughter it now because it's not blemished. You can't put it on the altar because it's not the best. So you have to wait until it contracts a blemish, right? That now is not suitable for the altar. Then it could be slaughtered and beaten as regular meat. Okay? A little complicated. Similarly, if a firstborn animal we're talking about, right? Contracts temporary blemish, it should not be slaughtered in any place, nor should it be offered. Instead, it should be in pasture until it contracts a permanent blemish and is slaughtered because of it. So if it's not it's a temporary blemish, like something that's going to be healed, right? So because of the blemish right now, you can't offer it. You have to wait till it gets healed. But I'm sorry. It's still not able to be put on the altar because of a temporary blemish. You can't slaughter it now because it's only temporary. It's not complete. So you have to wait until it becomes, you have to put it to pasture until it contracts a permanent blemish. Then you could slaughter it. Okay. Similarly, if a transgression was performed with it, meaning a sexual act with an animal, bestiality as it's called, right, in English, right? Or it killed a human being to the testimony of only one witness or the owner. If it was two witnesses, so then that animal, you can't have any benefit from it because it's going to get killed, right? If your ox gored and killed a person, if it was two witnesses that warned the owner, right? Careful, you got a wild cow over here, a wild ox over here, right? Make sure he's corralled. He's gonna kill the children that are playing over there, and didn't do it. Killed. That ox gets killed, right? Gets slaughtered, and not only that, you can't benefit from it, right? Can't have benefit from it. But what if it was only one testimony? We learned last week's Torah portion, only two witnesses bring about any iniquity or bring about any loss, financial loss. And here would be a financial loss because I'm going to lose my ox, right? So it has to be based on two witnesses. But what if it was only one witness? So one witness, you won't have that law, but that animal cannot go on the altar, right? It's not fitting to the altar anymore because it killed a child, right? So it's not fitting to the altar. Or if bestiality was done with it, it's not fitting for the altar. So it's set aside to be worshipped, or it was set aside, this cow, India, and it was worshipped as a deity, right? Set aside, and it wasn't even worshipped, but it was set aside for the worship. That itself is already a prohibition in the Torah that makes this animal, what's important over here, we're not talking about the person who worshipped it. Our focus is only about the animal that is the firstborn that has to be given to the Kohen because it belongs to him. It's one of the 24 gifts that the Kohen gets for their duties to serve on behalf of the Jewish people in the Holy Temple, right? So now it was only set aside for worship, or in fact it was worship. It should be left to pasture until it contracts a disqualifying blemish. Similar, same law. That animal has to be set aside, has to get a disqualifying blemish. Then it could be slaughtered. Wait a second. But it was worshipped. How could it be worshipped and then you could have benefit from it? That I don't get that.
Could you benefit when it contracts blemish?
Is considered unto. I'm unclear on this part where it says it was worship. Everything else doesn't make the animal inherently forbidden to have the benefit from it. But if it was worshipped, I thought it would be. So that I don't understand. The point over here, this animal was supposed to go onto the altar, right? But because of these parameters of the law, it can't. But it's not sufficient to completely disqualify it because there was only one witness that it killed, right? It was only set aside for worship, right? So therefore, you have to put it to pasture until it contracts a disqualifying blemish that now it's not fit for the altar at all. Like it's in the gray zone. All these instances that we're talking about, it's in a gray zone that it's not disqualified completely, that the Kohen could have personal benefit. What takes it out of the category? Because naturally it's supposed to be for the parts on the altar, and most of it goes to him, but parts of it go on the altar. So there's sanctity to this animal. There's a sanctity to the animal. But all these instances, it didn't lose completely its sanctity. It's in the gray zone. So therefore, as a result, we have to put it to pasture. So it'll be completely losing its sanctity. What is that? A complete blemish? A complete blemish that now it's not allowed to go on the altar at all. And then it actually becomes the Kohen's completely. He can slaughter it and use it for personal benefit.
But maybe because it was the evidence of only one witness.
Yeah, but we're talking, but that's the parameter of why it's in gray zone. If it was two witnesses, no, then it's completely not allowed to have benefit from it, right? Actually, if it was two witnesses, the Kohen couldn't even have benefit from it because then it has to be killed, right? Then it's not even then the Kohen doesn't even get it, right? But I'm not clear about it was worshipped, because worshipped, if you worship something, oh, you know what the laws over here would be like this: the non-Jew worshipped it, and if he unworships it, he can take it out of it. I think that's something. If he denies its worship, so now, and others, he does tshuva. That's what it is. It's not a Jew worshipped it. A non-Jew worshipped it. But Jew worshipped it, forever forbidden, for benefit, for a Jew to have benefit from it, right? The Jew worshipped it. A non-Jew worshipped it, and he unworships it by doing tshuva. Then he removes, but it still can't go on the altar. That's the instance. Wow. Neither an animal, number 4, born through cesarean section, nor one born afterwards are considered as firstborn animals. Cesarean section is not firstborn. Why? Because it didn't go through the normal channel of the from the womb to the The first is not because but the animal that's born afterwards is also called a firstborn. Both animals are not, right? So he explains. The first is not because it was not the first issue of the womb. And the second is not because the first preceded it. There was something in the womb before that. Even a female was born through cesarean section, and the male later emerged from the womb, it's not a firstborn. And this law wouldn't apply. In other words, you wouldn't have to give this animal to the Kohen. That's the point over here.
So another would say, but section is never a firstborn for this animal.
Exactly. Which means that those animals will belong to you. If it's my animal, it's going to belong to me. It's not. It won't be something I have to give to the Kohen. Because if it was a firstborn, I have to give it to the Kohen.
So let's say there was a natural birth, and then there was a male and a female. Female comes out first, male comes out second. Is he considered the first?
No, she is. It's only male firstborn.
That's right.
Actually, yeah, but yeah. Okay, we're going to stop here. I think we've used our brain capacity to a full extent today. More coming though. It's 6 o'clock. Remember, 6 o'clock tonight. 6 o'clock tonight. Wow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Pleasure. God bless you.
God bless you all.
All right.